I'm just talking, top rope walking, ultimate Xing, serious flexing, never be vague with your boy Craig, and opinion mixing from Pete to Nixon, keep doing things in an impactful way, bloody nonsense as the Brits say, talking bloody nonsense.
Yes, it's me, it's the M.I.C. Craig, aka Mr. Impact, joined as always by the one and only Peter Nixon. This is Talking Bloody Nonsense right here on the TNA IW channel. Without any further ado, it's a new week, it's a new Impact, but first things first, Nixon, how's it going?
Yeah, all good. Did a fun show on Saturday for HEW in Takeley, which is just outside Stansted. A lot of fun. Saw Johnny Storm.
Nice.
Yeah. We had a good time. A funny story, right quick. We did a rumble at the end, and one of the guys played a rib on one of the commentators and ended to Val Venus entrance theme. So as soon as I heard that, "Hello, ladies," I instantly said to the rest of the people queuing up to go into the Rumble, "Right, everyone's entering to Attitude Era theme tunes now." And
Nice.
you'd think I was joking, right? You'd assume that I was being daft. Oh no, the next two wrestlers who were a tag team, to be fair, entered to the Dudley Boys theme tune. So I thought, okay,
Nice.
I need to do this now. So I entered to Razor Ramon's theme tune, and then Bash entered to the New Age Outlaws theme tune, and so we had a bit of fun with it. I don't know if the promoter was too happy about it, but yeah, it was. We had a good time.
Yeah, I mean, why not, right? If you can
exactly.
make it work, it's gotta. What's gonna make a better story in 5 years' time?
Yeah.
So, it's obviously it's been quite quiet on the Impact front recently. Obviously, we had the multiverse of matches coming up next week, which just announced the Ultimate X competitors, in which it's Rich Swann, Willie Mack, Mike Bailey, Trey, Jordan Grace, and I feel like I'm missing someone.
Nice. That's a good lineup.
Yeah, multiverse matches should be a bang card. And obviously, Rebellion match has been announced. So, I mean, let's just get straight into it. Of course, recently, this past week, the TV tapings, recent set of TV tapings took place in Philadelphia at the 2300 Arena, aka the ECW Arena, and a lot of the wrestlers, a lot of the staff posted some pictures on the social medias of people there. Tommy Dreamer posted a picture which featured the full-blooded Italians, Nunzio, and I can't quite remember who else.
Tony Mamaluke.
Here we go. Yeah, very tired today. The Savage Gent, Victor Benjamin, the husband of Lady Frost, was also there. I don't know if he got involved, but he was certainly backstage. Jonathan Gresham was there for the first day of tapings. Again, no clue if he's involved in any in-ring action, but again, he was there before flying over to Progress here in the UK, which he won the Progress World Championship at. So it's an interesting week on that front. As well as other names backstage, and apparently the owner of GCW, Brett Lauderdale, was there. Again, no clue if he was just backstage visiting like the likes of Cardona and whoever else was there. But yeah, he was there, which led to some people speculating about a potential relationship between Impact and GCW, which I can kind of see happening. But
well, they already kind of work with each other, you know.
Yeah.
Pat Cardona is working everywhere at the moment, but he's with Impact Wrestling. Brian Myers has done shows for GCW. Jordan Grace worked for him recently at the Atlanta. What's it called? Center Stage. So yeah, there is an easy sort of working relationship there already. So yeah, I don't think we need to dwell on the fact Brett Lauderdale was there. It's not a huge surprise to me, but it's cool that these companies are able to swap talent.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, whenever Impact show up at the 2300, you're guaranteed some ECW alumni to just pop up for a random match.
Yeah.
Usually Sabu, which I haven't heard anything about Sabu being at these tapings, but I suspect he'll be there at some point.
I don't know, because Sabu's got heat with Jordan Grace now, hasn't he?
Oh, there's that.
Yeah, he said some daft things about one of Impact's top stars. So I can't see Sabu popping up again, I'm afraid. I was a huge Sabu fan. What an innovating wrestler. Should be in the WWE Hall of Fame, really. But yeah, if you're going to be saying silly things on Twitter, then you're going to lose my respect, I'm afraid.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Twitter can be used as a good and bad tool, but most times used as bad now.
Yeah.
Let's not dwell on that too much. Just try and stay positive on this.
Yes,
but
yeah, we're pro wrestling.
Yeah, from what I understand, it was a very, very solid set of TV tapings. Chelsea Green did post something on her own social media, but if you haven't seen it, I'm not going to go into it because I guess it can be classed as a spoiler. But
okay, I'm not interested in spoilers.
Yeah, it's out there if you want to find it. It's on Chelsea Green's Instagram, but it's it was a good set of TV tapings. Like it always is in Philadelphia for Impact. It's always been a good market for them. And matches they've announced for these tapings so far. Obviously, this week we have, I won't get into too much, but we have the Lumberjack Tag Team match. We have this Knockout Street fight. Rocky Romero is returning to Impact. So, all in all those at TV tapings, I mean, what's your take on all these people being backstage, like Jonathan Gresham and Victor Benjamin? Because Victor Benjamin is someone Impact fans have been wanting for quite some time.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool that these guys are showing up. If they do stuff on the show, awesome. As I say, I don't look at the spoilers, so I don't know if that's true or not. But anytime Jonathan Gresham's there is a good thing. One of the best wrestlers in the world. Can honestly say I've never seen the Savage Gent Victor Benjamin wrestle before. I know he's got the link to Lady Frost, so it was just a matter of time. And then you see the picture of the FBI there, Guido and Tony. So I loved them as a team in ECW. One of the most underrated tag teams of all time. The stuff they did with Tajiri and Mikey Whipwreck, and Super Crazy, and Doring and Roadkill, Hot Commodity. Those tag team matches were fantastic and kind of lost in time now because ECW was celebrated for a sort of the 1996-95 sort of time period, but that 2000 run of shows just isn't as celebrated. I think it's because of the whole, the TV deal sort of falling through, but the shows they were putting on were fantastic. And yeah, as I say, they get kind of lost in the fans' eyes. That's unfortunate because there's some great stuff there, and it's all on the WWE network. I don't mean to plug them; we're not getting paid by them, but it's cool to see so many people excited to be at the ECW arena. I've always said, people who get into the wrestling business, if you're a fan of wrestling, you're more likely to succeed. So it's cool to see. I don't want to see wrestlers marking out every show, every time they jump on Instagram or whatever. But to see them genuinely happy to be at a venue, especially something historic like the ECW arena, it is cool. It's very cool to see. So yeah, to see Matt Cardona, Lady Frost, all those wrestlers posting about being able to work in the ECW arena. Yeah, it brings out the fan in me because they're being fans themselves.
Yeah, and obviously everyone had to get that shot in front of the ECW mural.
Yeah, I've seen all the pictures.
I believe that's in the men's bathroom from remembering.
Oh right, I didn't know that. I thought it was sort of in the lobby or something.
If I'm remembering what I read recently, I believe it's in the men's bathroom in the arena.
Gross.
Yeah, I mean, interesting place to put a mural, but
yeah,
hey, everyone got a picture in front of it. But yeah, I mean, I do love that arena. I mean, I don't have the affiliation to ECW as a lot of people have because I mean, I'm 24, so I didn't get to see a lot of ECW. I've recently caught up on some stuff, but the stuff I've seen of ECW, it's been in the Hammerstein or in the it's not necessarily been in Philadelphia. I mean, I think I watched the ECW, the Extreme Reunion. They had that on DVD, but it wasn't ECW, but it was set up by Joey Styles, and it had the main event was like Sandman versus Tommy Dreamer or something, or Snapu. It was along those lines, but it was just before. It was just after WWE bought ECW and turned it into WWE ECW. It was around that time. So, but I mean, yeah, of course I know what that venue is all about. I mean, how can you not? As a wrestling fan, everyone knows what went on in that building.
Yeah.
And the fact that the fans are still chanting ECW to this day shows just how much of an impact they made, if you pardon the pun.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm all down for decent TV tapings. I believe Scott Demore at the end of the TV tapings announced that they'll be back in September, potentially for pay-per-view. Which
it would make sense for it to be an Impact Plus special because October is Bound for Glory. So if they're doing it in September, it'd be sort of go home shows in essence for Bound for Glory. So that'd be very cool. Looking forward to that.
I mean, would it be too on the nose to do Hardcore Justice there?
Oh yeah, they've got to do that, haven't they?
Yeah,
that'd be great.
So yeah, I love it when Impact put on TV tapings, and the positivity coming off social media for them is insane. And those 5 fans still got around a bit.
The 5 fans.
Yeah, everyone, all the Impact trolls say Impact's only got 5 fans.
Yeah,
they sure got around a bit in that arena.
Yeah, there's only 5 fans watching on Access. There's only 5 fans watching on YouTube.
Yeah. I mean, I posted that on Twitter and I got like 12 likes, so I'm guessing that kind of disproves that theory.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm all for it, and no spoilers, which I'm pleasantly surprised about, because often there's spoilers. And shout out to good friend Marco Cavaccini for having seems like had a great time at the tapings. So all for Impact putting on great shows. Just can't wait to see these tapings now, because if as good as people saying on social media, it's going to be a good time.
Is the first TV episode from this taping tonight on Access TV?
Yeah,
nice.
First one, yeah, it's we bang. I can't wait to see it. So yeah, excuse me, that was the TV tapings for Philadelphia. Now we move on to something that came out today as we record on Tuesday. Trey Miguel, the Nixon champion, recently did an interview. I believe it was on Fightful, but I have to double check that. And made a pretty decent point, in my opinion, about the Impact and the Forbidden Door situation, and that Impact haven't really been able to go through it as much I mean, obviously, you can go and look at the Good Brothers going on being on AEW quite a lot. Josh Alexander appearing on New Japan Strong. Same with the Good Brothers in there, or John Schuyler on New Japan Strong. Obviously, Mike Bailey's coming through now. Chris Sabin. There's quite a few on the New Japan side, but then being the honor on the AAA side as well. So it's an interesting discussion, because when it was just Impact and AEW, I completely agree that Impact did not get to walk through that forbidden door as much as they should, considering they opened it essentially. Not essentially, they did. They Impact have been doing the forbidden door for quite some time. But what's your take on this? Because from New Japan, I don't think we can say that Impact haven't had a chance of walking through a forbidden door. I know he did say that the big stars in Impact's eyes have gone through that door, but the likes of like Trey Miguel or insert wrestler here hasn't really had much of an opportunity to walk through it. So what's your take on that?
Well, yeah, I mean, of course, Impact wrestlers are going to appear on New Japan because, they're not, well, partners is the wrong word, but they're on the same TV station, so it would make sense for the talent exchange there. But as far as Impact wrestlers, during that time period when Impact were working with AEW, yeah, you didn't see many people from Impact go over to AEW. But I think that's more because Tony Khan has such a bloated roster as it is. They probably couldn't fit any Impact guys on there. If there was space, I'm sure he would have had some of the X Division guys come and mix it up with the Young Bucks, for example. But you do see Impact wrestlers here, there, and everywhere. Like we said earlier with GCW, Pro Wrestling Revolver, Giselle Shaw over here in the UK. I mean, it's a weird one. I do get what Trey is saying. I don't really know what to say about it, honestly. What's your take on it?
See, I made my some points in bringing this topic up, in the fact that you've had all these guys going over into New Japan. And of course, the honor is the reigning champion, But again, like I said, I can see where Trey's coming from on this, because Impact opened that door up, and they haven't really had much for, other than the world champ, people in the world title picture, or the tag team champions. Also, the Good Brothers have that groundwork laid down already from time in Japan. So that's already there, and obviously being part of the elite, so it makes sense for them to go over there, although they haven't been in AEW since.
Mm.
And in his interview, he mentioned that Moose and Sami Callihan went over there, referring to AEW, and they didn't technically go to AEW. They were in the arena to use, but they weren't technically in AEW. And yes, they did use the crowd, the wrestlers in the crowd that AEW had during the pandemic. So, or during the height of the pandemic. But I don't count it, because it was on Impact TV. Yes, they used their ring, but it was still Impact logos. And although the Young Bucks did pop up, it wasn't the same as them being on Dynamite.
Mm.
And the only representation we had of the World Championship on Dynamite AEW was Kenny Omega and Christian Cage. So it is a difficult one, because Impact have gone through that forbidden door a few times. I mean, Mickie James is obviously a big example of that, walking through arguably the biggest forbidden door.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but she wouldn't have had that opportunity if she hadn't have been a WWE legend. You wouldn't see, you wouldn't see Tasha Steelz, for example, pop up in the Royal Rumble because she's not WWE alumni. You might have seen Deonna Purrazzo, but I think she's far bigger now, far more popular, higher profile now than she was in her WWE run. So yeah, it's different circumstances for different people, I guess.
Yeah, like you mentioned there, with Mickey James, yeah, it takes me back to what AJ Styles said, that even though it's kind of a different thing, but he said that only ex-WWE should be able to walk through the forbidden door into WWE.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I like I said, you can see where Trey's coming from on this topic, and he does make some valid points in the interview. But I think enough people have gone through to other companies, and they've had. So I just can't agree fully that Impact haven't had a fair shake walking through the door, because they have. Josh Alexander had, I believe Josh is undefeated in New Japan Strong. Right. He's only had two matches, but I believe he's undefeated. And Impact are getting a major rub from all these companies, even though they don't necessarily need them, because, well, in a sense they do, but to a casual viewer looking, you don't necessarily know who Rocky Romero is unless you watch the Go Brothers stuff on their channel, or the Talking Shop stuff. Like, obviously, Suzuki's obviously on a different caliber, so that gave Impact a big rub. But I think I just can't fully agree with what he's saying on that.
I mean, Trey made it very clear that it wasn't because of Impact management. You know, it wasn't a shot on Impact Wrestling not getting their wrestlers out there. It was more about, do you reckon there's still that stigma of LOL TNA? Is that what Trey was getting at?
I mean, in terms of the IWC, absolutely. There's still that small part of that IWC who can't get the bad taste of TNA out of their mouth. Which, up until 3 years ago, I could understand a bit more. Now, I don't get it, because Impact have worked their asses off, started back from the bottom to get to where they are now, to working with every major company in wrestling today. No other company has done that. WWE, obviously, during the Attitude Era, obviously they had like some New Japan stars coming over. That was when New Japan was just taking off, and there was still a good relationship with WWE and Antonio Inoki. So that's what happened. Or you had some Mexican stars coming over, like Hector Garza, for instance. So, and of course, Mr. Terms, Jushin Liger, probably in NXT, had a great match with Tyler Breeze. A great match. But like, Liger's kind of been everywhere as well. So I think there is that still that small part, but if it's the companies doing that, then Impact shouldn't be working with them anyway. If that company can't move past that bad rep of TNA, maybe Impact should be working with them in the first place.
Well, Rome wasn't built in a day. When Impact Wrestling aren't going to shed that reputation overnight, and it has been 4 years since the Redemption pay-per-view, which, you know, Redemption, that show for me was the statement of, we are a new company, you know, we are moving forward, you know, forget that shit from the past. You know, this is Impact Wrestling, this is not TNA. So that's the catalyst for me when I look back. From that moment forward, you know, this is Impact Wrestling as we see it today. So it's only been, well, nearly 4 years. So, you know, it was 15 years of TNA at that point. Yeah, 16 years. So that's a long time and a fair amount of shit to sort of try and wipe from people's minds. But it will happen. If if Impact carry on as they are, which I'm sure they are, that's evident from watching the TV shows. We'll get there. We will change people's opinions enough to, improve viewership, improve pay-per-view buys. I mean, I don't see the figures for ratings, YouTube subscribers, or pay-per-view buys, but they have to be getting better. There's no way with this quality of a show that word doesn't get around and ratings start going up.
Yeah, I mean, just to touch on the ratings thing just very quickly, because we talk about it a lot on this channel, and it just low ratings isn't the end of the world.
No,
because just because people aren't watching it on the night does not mean they're not watching it later on. Like, just chill out on the ratings. It shouldn't matter to the fans as long as the TV company are happy with it. Who are we to say it's poor ratings?
Yeah, well, it's like we talked about before we started recording. People consume television differently in 2022. Myself and Kaylee, we don't have an aerial on our house, so we watch all of our TV through streaming services. And I think more and more people are watching TV on their phones or on tablets or what's it called, Fire Stick, on streaming apps. So yeah, I mean, that's why I pay the $4.99 a month on YouTube for the Ultimate Insider.
Right.
It's a great deal, I wouldn't be able to watch Impact otherwise. So yeah, like we said, people get bogged down with the ratings, but it means jack shit in this day and age.
Yeah, it is. If the ratings are low, it really doesn't fucking matter. Just enjoy what you're watching. Don't focus on the ratings. It's not the 90s anymore. You can watch everything and not have to worry about TV ratings.
Yeah, and if the ratings are bad, who are they competing against?
Exactly. It's Anthem's own TV network as well.
Yes.
So as long as Anthem are happy, right, who cares? Just enjoy it. Yeah, obviously, like I said, just recap on that. Trey made some good points in that interview, but I don't fully agree with the statements he's made about Impact not getting a fair shake, because Impact not getting booked everywhere. Eric Young is coming over to the UK next couple of weeks. He's fully booked. So that just proves that people are watching and want Eric Young on their show. So yeah, that's the first subheading and the main headline. Now it's time for the re-preview. So get it up because a lot seemed to go on this week. In the review of last week's Impact, we had the Motor City Machine Guns defeating the Bullet Club in what some deem controversial circumstances. We also had Steve Macklin defeating Rhino. The Inspiration forgave Caleb with a K. Heath and Rhino are back and looking to challenge for his tag team championships. Bhupinder Gurja defeats Larry D. With Brian Myers, commentator pro, alternative commentary at ringside. W. Morrissey comes out for the match. Brian Myers just legs it before poor Rushing gets put through a table.
What a great bump that was.
Phenomenal.
That was so cool.
And the face expression, just loved every second of it. Backstage, we have Ace Austin who is sure that his friend Speedball Mike Bailey will qualify for the Triple Threat X Division Championship match coming up at Rebellion. Honor No More send a message to Josh Alexander before being interrupted by Alicia Edwards. Dion Perazzo defeats Giselle Shaw and Lady Frost in a Triple Threat Champ challenge to retain both the Ring of Honor Women's World and AAA Reina de Reinas championships. It was announced on BTI that would be in a lumberjack match for the Impact World Tag Team Championships between Violent by Design and the Good Brothers this week on Impact. Also, at Rebellion, we have an 8 tag team elimination match for the tag team championships. Jonah defeats Zicky Dice in a matter of seconds before PCO comes back alive.
Mm-hmm.
Marsha Slamovich defeats Ari, apologies if I got that wrong. Zicky Dice goes in search of a wrestling school. Speaking of a wrestling school, Swingers Dungeon is now open for business with guest trainers likes of Tony Chimmel and Bruce Hart. In the main event, Josh Alexander defeats Matt Taven. Before Impact goes off air, Moose shows up at Josh Alexander's house to hand the contract, or to give the contract to his wife Jade, not Jen, to hand into the Anthem offices. A lot to unpack there, but I want to, as soon as it happened, I want to get your thoughts on it. The Zicky Dice PCO Jonah thing. I want to get your thoughts on that first. So have at it.
I love that it was so tame for PCO, literally just getting off a stretcher. And it makes me think, are they going to ramp it up every time he comes back? And is it going to get more and more elaborate, more and more wild? So, yeah, I'm excited to see what else they can do with the sort of reanimating PCO. Yeah, one of the highlights of the show, obviously, for me. I'm a massive PCO guy. But yeah, I hope it leads to some sort of gimmick match at the pay-per-view at Rebellion. Return match, because I loved that first PCO and Jonah match. And if they do something, I don't know what kind of match they would have, but can you imagine what PCO is going to do to outdo his performance from Sacrifice? Because I thought I'd seen it all in that match, but if he's holding stuff back, I mean, he might actually die.
Yeah, I didn't like the fact Zicky lost, but I understand it given what's going on, so I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
I was a bit wary at first, thinking where they're going with the Zicky Dice thing, but no, it was cool. I mean, for me, Swingers Dungeon was the highlight.
Yes, that was
massive highlight. It was so good. Johnny Swinger is, I mean, what we've had, like Swingers Palace, we've had all that, all that type of stuff, Wrestle House, and Swinger just delivers and just smashes it every single time. So I cannot wait for Swingers Dungeon. I like the little thing from Lance Storm, so I do not endorse this school.
Yeah.
I thought that was phenomenal stuff. The list of guest trainers and intergender tag teams, and Demolition Mizarks, like just great stuff. I want to go back to Steve Macklin and Rhino quickly. Second week we've had Anthony Corelli, the former Santino Marana, on commentary. Obviously, Max and Jeff talked about it in a bit more depth on the Mothership, but it's confusing as to why he's there, because it doesn't feel like we necessarily need it. I mean, I'm okay with it for now, but I don't think necessarily need a 3-man booth at this point. But do you see this leading to anything? Like,
I don't think so. I think he is local, isn't he? I think he lives in not Kentucky, but Kentucky's the state. He might live in Louisville. So I'm fine with it if he's just doing commentary for these past 2 or 3 shows.
Yeah.
But I don't think he is a necessary addition to the roster because he hasn't added anything to the product. No one has ever paid to see Anthony Corelli. People pay to see Santino Marella, and that's copyright of WWE, I'm afraid.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, he's clearly a great trainer with the Battle Ops Academy. You know, if Impact want to bring him on as a Lance Storm role as a trainer, all for it. But I really don't understand all this. Again, the Bhupinder Gujjar and Larry D match, probably Larry D's best match in Impact, and it's as a I was big fan of Triple XL. It's frustrating that Larry D is no longer with the company, and probably his one match back as like a here I am type thing. Probably his best match, and it was there to put over Bhupinder. It didn't necessarily work for me. I thought, because like Max mentioned on the ship, that Larry D is the hometown hero, if you like.
Yeah.
He's not. Bhupinder isn't going to get over at that point. So I don't understand it. But it was an enjoyable match. Probably the most I've enjoyed a Bhupinder Gujjar match.
I think he's really good. I'd never heard of him before he debuted on Impact. Was it 3-4 weeks ago? Defeating John Skyler?
Apparently, I recently found this out, but he did have a match in Impact before all this. He had a trial between the Desi Hit Squad, but he lost. The referee Cam for BCW, he's hit him with the frog splash in 619. He's the one that got that ref laid out.
Right.
So he did pop up in Impact.
Okay. Yeah, I think he's been really impressive in these last 3 outings. I think people are quick to shit on him because he's a newcomer that isn't a name. You know, people expect people to show up on Impact from WWE or AEW or Ring of Honor. And when essentially nobodies turn up and try to prove themselves, it takes a while for people to catch on. And it will happen because he's really good. And he's got a little bit of charisma, and I'm sure he can work on that. Yeah, I'm excited to see more from Bhupinder Gujjar.
Maybe it's just me. I just haven't found anything I can connect with yet. I mean,
I'm like that with John Skyler. Like I've said before, he just doesn't do it for me.
Yeah, it's each to their own. I mean, I do like his spear from middle rope. I think that's cool. But apart from that, I'm hoping we can something can happen, turn it around. Now, before we go on to the preview, we've got to talk about Machine Guns versus Bullet Club.
Yeah.
Because that finish, I've watched it back a couple of times, and I swear Jay White makes it. If I may be going blind, but I'm convinced Jay White made that save.
So, do you think, Craig, that the finish was fucked up? Do you think Jay was meant to make the save and the match continue, or do you think that was the actual grand finish?
See, there's conversation that Machine Guns was supposed to win anyway, but I think maybe not quite that early. But again, I just don't know. It looked like it was meant. It looked like it was an accident because Machine Guns didn't react straight away. They didn't accelerate straight away. They looked at each other. But I mean, I'm convinced Jay White made that save. It was a great match all the way through. The finish, like I say, a little bit dodge, but I mean, I don't know. What's your take on it? Because I'm convinced Jay White made that save.
I loved the match. I thought it was better than Shelley versus Jay White from Sacrifice. And I think that was the finish that was meant to happen. I think Jay just missing on the save attempt was totally planned, and it gives Bullet Club a little bit of face, in losing.
Yeah.
I'd say the Machine Guns on their reunion needed the win more than Bullet Club. I am a little bit sick of Chris Bay eating the pin every single week,
Yes.
but it keeps Jay White with a reason to complain. I think it was a very well executed finish, and I think it's exactly what was meant to happen.
Obviously, caused quite a bit of a conversation online, like most of the things do in wrestling now.
Mm-hmm.
But and maybe I'm just, because I can't look at the referee's hand as well as Jay White. Maybe that's where I'm missing it. But if that was a mistake, I'm glad Hebner kept counting.
Yeah.
Because again, if you watch the Mothership, you know. But I completely agree with what they said on there. That I'm a big believer in the referee. Unless something big's happening, referee shouldn't know the finish. Referee should just be there to count, nothing else. So I'm glad that's what happened. If it was finished, it wasn't the finish. But I could have sworn Jay White made that save. But we're getting a rematch at these tapings, I believe, Impact announced. So hey, let's go again. I'm all for
absolutely.
it. But I agree, Chris Bay is eating the pin too many times for my liking. But obviously, when you're teaming with Bullet Club, I think Chris Bay has to be the one to eat the pin if Bullet Club are losing.
Yeah, afraid so. It's unfortunate for him because he's a massive star. Oh, pardon, my voice is breaking all of a sudden. He shouldn't be in a position where he's losing every week, but I understand that's his job at the moment, and I'm sure it will turn around for him eventually.
Yeah. So Chris Bay tweeted that he wants to, by the end of the year, he wants to fulfill the prophecy, if you like, of him becoming Impact World Champion. And
by the end of this year.
By the end of the year, yeah.
Ooh.
I know.
Okay.
We'll soon see. It'll take a lot of building on Impact's part.
End of next year, I can honestly see it. I think Chris Bay and Steve Macklin are going to be top guys by the end of next year.
Yeah.
Not this year.
I mean, it'll take a lot of building on Impact's part to get all those losses off him, but I know stranger things have happened, right?
Yes, exactly.
So, now we'll go on to the preview part of the pre-review. A re-preview. Well, yes, the Impact World Tag Team Championship rematch. It's a lumberjack match, Violent by Design versus the Good Brothers. Street fight for the Knockouts World Championship, and in the rematch for Mickey James against Tasha Steelz in a street fight. The return of Rocky Romero facing Eddie Edwards, and Josh Alexander addresses the actions of Moose. So, what obviously is that's just three matches, one segment. Already looking like a banging show. What's your take on that? What are you most looking forward to, and how about it?
I think Tasha and Mickey James is going to be tremendous. We forgot to mention in the Impact review, Josh and Taven in the main event. Fantastic match. So really looking forward to seeing Josh respond to Moose's actions from last week. I assume there's going to be some sort of brawl, maybe through the crowd into the streets of Philly. That'd be cool. It'd be interesting to see how the ECW arena looks nowadays, because I can picture it from 95, 96 with those white walls and those wooden bleachers and the crow's nest in the corner. It'd be interesting to see what it looks like nowadays. So I'd love for Josh and Moose to brawl all over the building and see kind of what it looks like now. Is the tag title match on BTI?
No, it's
on the main show.
Yes, I believe it's opening, but I can't be sure.
Okay, that'd be cool. Yeah, that should be a fun match as well, especially with the lumberjack stipulation. I'm interested to see who the 8 teams are for this. What is it, like a tag team turmoil rebellion?
Tag team elimination.
So does that mean when one team loses, another team enters, or is it Royal Rumble style?
I imagine it'll be gauntlet, 1 in 1 out. I imagine so. But
yeah, I mean,
I don't know. Interested to see.
It's not fair on the other teams, is it? Like the first 2 teams to enter probably aren't going to exit with the championships, so it's not a very fair way of crowning champions. Because if you're the last team to enter, you're far more likely to win it. But yeah, weirder things have been done in wrestling. I shouldn't find that a reason to complain. I'm sure it'll be a fantastic series of matches.
Yeah, because obviously 8 is a difficult number to fit all on the apron. So I mean, 4 is most you could do, essentially.
Do you ever see the first ever Survivor Series where they do the 5 teams versus 5 teams? So you've got 10 wrestlers on each side, and they're all on the apron. So you basically, if you're ringside, you cannot see in the ring because there's wrestlers everywhere on the apron. That's what I'd like to see from this tag team turmoil.
I'm definitely intrigued by it as it is. The Josh Alexander thing, I'm again looking forward to because it made it a bit more personal. One thing I did want to mention about Moose going to Josh's house was obviously Josh's little boy, I believe Jet, came around to his mum. It looked to me like Jet was trying to put his mum in an ankle lock. He was. If you follow Jade Chung, Josh's wife, on social media, Jet is always wrestling. Like he's always wrestling. Recently, I think he power drove Barney.
Right.
As pretending to be his dad against Matt Taven.
Oh, that's. Well, as long as they're being supervised, I guess that's all right.
So I'm pretty sure he's trying to put his mum in an ankle up there. But anyway, I'm really looking forward to that. Rocky Romero back in Impact. I'm always cool about that.
Yeah, I love Rocky.
Yeah, and against Eddie Edwards, that's going to be a banging match. Because I just can't wait for it. The knockout street fight. Cool, I guess. I mean, it should be a great match. But I'm not sure what's going to happen in this one. Tasha has to retain.
Yeah.
So, but with the VBD and Good Brothers, it could go either way. I feel like, especially with the lumberjack situation at ringside. But all in all, it's like a great Impact again. I'm sure Impact will be announcing some more stuff. As I was saying, we're filming on Tuesday. Impact don't usually release the full card until Wednesday or Thursday morning. So, yes, we'll find out as we watch. But now it is time for that final 10-10-10. If you tuned in last week, the week before, sorry, Nixon and I were given a little challenge.
Courtesy of Jack Nichols from the Cleft Movement. To give him a shout out.
There we go. We're given a little challenge to come up with our fantasy Impact roster, if you like. Last week we decided on the parameters for it. It was 40 wrestlers, current Impact, 40 people, current Impact signees, with some free agents thrown in there if we want to, and all titles must be represented. Since it came from a friend of yours, I guess go ahead and take us through your fantasy roster for Impact.
Okay, right. I'll go from the top. So this is the world title picture. My world champion is Moose. So I'm going to count on my fingers here. Josh Alexander. How can you not have those two wrestlers on your roster? Wyndham Rotunda.
Okay.
Cesaro.
Yeah.
Jonah. PCO. Steve Macklin. Samoa Joe. That's
Okay.
my world title picture. So 8 wrestlers there. X Division. The champion. Johnny Gargano.
Okay.
Trey Miguel. Ace Austin. Jonathan Gresham. Harry Smith. Dalton Castle.
Right.
That's my X Division, but I've got some tag teams coming up that, you know, if they break away in singles, could also be X Division. In fact, anyone from the X Division or the tag team division could break away and challenge for the world title.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, the digital media champion is Matt Cardona. So that is 8 plus 7. There's 15 people so far. I haven't done a DMC division because I think anyone from the roster at any point can challenge for the DMC.
Yeah.
Tag teams. Mike Bennett and Matt Taven are the champions. I love a heel team being chased by babyface teams. I think it's a great dynamic. Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin. Eddie Edwards and Davey Richards. Jay and Mark Briscoe. Rich Swann and Willie Mack. So they are my tag teams.
Right.
So right now we're on 25. I'm going to just do, before I do the women's division, my announced team. Melissa Santos as the ring announcer. And the announced team, commentary team, is Mauro Ronaldo and Matt Stryker.
Okay.
So that is 28. So I'm just going to make sure I've done my maths correctly. Yeah, 40 people. So my Knockouts world champion is Jordan Grace. And I've done more tag teams for the Knockouts division because, again, people can break away and challenge for the world title. Kylie Ray, Masha Slamovich, and Mia Yim. And the tag teams, the champions are Cassie Lee and Jessie McKay. This is a team I'm quite proud of for thinking of because it's kind of like fire and ice. It's Lady Frost and Ember Moon.
Okay.
And my 2 other teams are Rosemarie and Taya Valkyrie, and Deonna Purrazzo and Tasha Steeles. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my roster. I really want to... I've got a list of alternates here that at one point were on my roster, but I had to cut them. And it's so interesting to see who I've got on my alternates. So there's about 10 wrestlers here. Speedball Mike Bailey, Breezango, Mickey James, Brian Myers, Jake Something, Chris Bay, Blake Christian, Joey Janela, Eric Young, Alex Zane, and Sammy Callahan. They're people that I all had on my roster, but just didn't have the room for them. That's how hard this exercise was and how much fun I had with it.
Everyone out there, remember when voting, you dropped Chris Bay and Sammy Callahan. Remember that.
And Speedball.
Yeah. Okay. Now, coming into this, I was quite confident about my roster, thinking, I think I've gone really, really strong. But hearing yours, I'm still confident in it, but I guess we'll soon find out.
Okay.
I've gone in a similar way to you in the sense that I've gone announced team, champions, and then the rest of the roster, but is there a challenger for each title in there?
Yeah.
Okay, right. So I'll start with my announcing team. The ring announcer is Christy Hemme.
Okay.
Thought bring Christy Hemme back into the fold.
Fair enough.
And for my commentary team, I've gone for a 3-person booth. I've stuck with Tom Hannafin and Matthew Raywalt, and added in Vader Scott.
Okay.
Which did a great job on Knockouts Knockdown, and I think there's a 3-person booth would be cool to add a knockout end for a knockout's perspective to it.
Yeah, it's good to have that female representation, yes. I should say, on the announced team. I loved the team of Josh Matthews and Madison Rain.
Yeah,
I think they did a great job. I'd like to see a female added back to the team. I think you've done a good job there.
It'll be a nice little addition to it. So now for my champions. The world champion, I've gone with Josh Alexander. The Knockouts world champion, I've gone with someone who probably doesn't need the money now, but Tony Storm.
Okay. I see what you did there.
Yeah. For the X Division champion, I've chosen Speedball Mike Bailey.
Cool.
Knockouts tag team champions, I had to put them back on them. The Inspiration. The World Tag Team Championships, I'm really, really pleased with this. I've dubbed them the Swinging Dice Connection. Zicky Dice and Johnny Swinger as the World Tag Team Champions. I'm very. This isn't just a name I thought up. This has been a name I've been wanting to put together for years since Zicky was in the NWA. I've been wanting this tag team, so there's Swinging Dice Connection for life now.
All right.
And my digital media champion is Matt Cardona.
Yeah.
Now his the rest of the roster, if you like. So to start off with, for the Knockouts division, Knockouts world title division, straight away number contender, Deonna Purrazzo. Okay, champ. Then more knockouts that can also be added. Jordan Grace, Athena, Ember Moon, Taya Valkyrie, Giselle Shaw, Lady Frost. Because they're doing such a great job at the minute, so don't want to mess with that.
Yeah.
World title picture, I have W. Morrissey, Moose, Samoa Joe, Joe Hendry.
Yes, I like it.
I definitely want to see him back in Impact. And sort of, this is X Division technically, but also can go to the world title picture. Chris Bay, because I have to have some Chris Bay. Trey Miguel and Ace Austin.
Cool.
And so now it's kind of very like there's tag teams in there. Number contender for the tag team titles, Motor City Machine Guns. And other knockouts, I can potentially be put into teams if if necessary. I've gone with Taylor Wilde.
Oh yeah, that's a great shout.
And Madison Rain as the
Mhm.
tag. Then I did in Sammy Callahan because it had to be done. All of for more knockouts and even potentially a tag team here. Charlie Evans
Yeah.
and Nixon Neal, Tegan Knox. Again, kind of mixed visions here for the rest of them, but I've gone with Davey Boy Jr., Harry Smith,
Oh yeah, we've got some crossover there.
Big Damo,
Yeah.
Eddie Edwards. Again, tag team with the OGK, Bennett and Taven. Eric Young, Rosemary, and Sue Young.
Too
Again,
young.
as potentially a tag team, or Tasha Steeles, Session Moth Martina,
Mm-hmm.
and Blake Christian.
Blake Christian, yeah. I wanted to get him on mine.
It had to be done.
Mm. Cool, good roster.
Yeah, I think it's it should be interesting when we put the poll up.
Yeah.
We'll try and take screenshots of each roster and put pictures up so we can get a visual on it on who we chosen.
Yeah.
For the poll, so you can vote. We'll put the poll up. I'll say Friday, so it gives people a chance to watch the episode, so they can make up their mind some more.
Yeah.
But it's some very interesting picks from both sides on that one. And next up on next week's show, with another challenge of booking Bound for Glory with these rosters, which I'm very much looking forward to doing.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
Not wait to book Bound for Glory with these. So there you have it. There's our fantasy rosters, and the fantasy booking of Bound for Glory next week is going to be so much fun. But that is that for yet another week here on TBN. I've been the MIC and will continue to be the MIC. He's been Nixon and will continue to be Nixon. You can find us here, there, and everywhere: Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Sounder, Spotify, wherever else you podcast. Keep an eye out soon on our social media for a new TBN chats. I guess you know by now, but it is representing Northwest Strong, the title championship wrestling women's champion, Rio. Great chat, some laughs in there, some talk about her career, who influenced her, all that. So you can see that coming very soon. Go check out all the other episodes of TBN chats. You can see, if you click on our YouTube channel, you can also see the latest episodes of the new LOL Q&A with Jeff, Lucha, and Johnny. You can watch all that. It's good stuff from the guys.
Yeah.
But it's very much TNW After Dark. So enjoy that. Enjoy Impact. Enjoy wrestling. Just enjoy what you enjoy. And until next time, goodbye, my friends.